does come from behind to win the fight.
Yeah, and the way that Walker wins this thing tomorrow is if the Warnock folks believe that they're going to win and they don't turn out quite at the levels that they need to. I see in the early vote there's some good news for the Democrats there, frankly. But maybe they're like, okay, we've got this thing now. And if there's a little bit of, I guess, a sense of inevitability, that could end up hurting them. Some complacency on the Democratic side, potentially. And then what you would need is Republicans just in force to show up in gigantic numbers tomorrow to overcome what is likely a Warnock lead in the early voting. And that's how Walker does it. It's not rocket science. It's not impossible. It's not like, it's not like Warnock's ahead by 10 points in this race. It's 2-3 points, something like that. That is make-upable, if you will. But it's going to take an enormous turnout by the Republicans today and tomorrow especially to make that happen. And we'll be watching and we will see. And the difference is a 50-50 Senate or a 51-49 Senate, which does have some implications for the next 2 years and also affects the map and what needs to be done 2 years from now when the map is a lot more friendly, rather, to the Republicans in the Senate. So that is the state of play in Georgia today. We'll be watching it tomorrow night. If you're listening to us now in Georgia, please do get out and vote. Josh Krause,
supposed to press the button, not cross like that.
Happy birthday. Talk again soon.
Jeez.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
We'll be right back.
Guy Benson Show.
Safeway is helping check items off your list. They have everything you need to wow your guests as you gather together. From baking essentials like Betty Crocker, Eggland's Best, Upfield, and Ghirardelli's, to your favorite comfort foods like Illy Cafe, Tillamook Ice Cream, Kraft, Daisy Brand, and American Licorice. Safeway is your one-stop shop for all things holiday this season. Go to Safeway.com for more information.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, and help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
Black Friday mattress savings are extended at Ashley. It's your last chance to shop Black Friday mattress doorbusters, including fast free shipping on Ashley Sleep Queen mattresses starting at just $199.99. Plus, during the Black Friday mattress sale, you can save $1,000 on select Sealy mattresses. These Black Friday mattress deals are only available through Monday. So hurry into your local Ashley store or tap the banner now for better sleep and savings. Only from America's #1 furniture and mattress store, Ashley. See store ashley.com for details.
Come strengthen your pack at the new Great Wolf Lodge in Manteca. With over 50 attractions, we wanted to see how many we can name in the remaining seconds of this ad.
River Canyon Run, Oliver's Moonstone Maze, Tin Paw Bowling, Fowler's Peak Ropes Course, Magi Quest, Slaptail Pond Wave Pool, Build-A-Bear Workshop, Storytime, a 4-story water fort.
40 more to go. And now that a getaway to Great Wolf Lodge in Manteca is just a short ride away, that's time to experience every attraction at the lodge. Great Wolf Lodge, strengthen the pack.
It's pro time, because at Lowe's, it's Provember. Save big with inventory you can count on, like Flex products or DeWalt power tools starting at just $99. Plus, Lowe's MVPs members earn up to 3 times bonus points per dollar on select items. Save all Provember long. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. MVPs Pro Rewards Program terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change. 10/17/22 to 2/3/23 or until supplies last.
When you love riding a motorcycle, you want to ride it everywhere, even to a physical.
Let's check your weight. Hop on the scale. Look at that. You're down a few pounds. Oh, yeah. Must be the new carbon fiber wheels.
And when you love saving money, you want to save even more. That's why Geico makes it easy to bundle your motorcycle and car insurance.
I'm going to prescribe 91 octane for your engine knock, and we'll want to see you again in 3,000 miles.
Kickstart your savings with Geico Motorcycle. Bundle and save on the things you love.
When your to-do list is a mile long and you need to hit the drugstore and grab chips and dip for the game, go Puff It! Go Puff is the app that delivers thousands of items to your door in just minutes. Order in seconds for delivery in minutes. Download the app today to save $30 and get free delivery with no service fees. Terms and conditions will apply.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
TuneIn is the destination for live news, sports, and more. But did you know that many of your favorite live shows are available as podcasts? So if you missed the big game last night, there's a podcast for that. If you couldn't listen to the breaking news update earlier this morning,
They don't know what it's like to be on those things. I feel like
there's a podcast for that. Or if you just want to stream your favorite talk radio shows on your schedule,
to try to contain it. I spoke with my colleague.
there's a podcast for that. And don't forget, you can subscribe to your favorite shows so you never miss an episode. And you can even download them to listen offline.
We are back on the Guy Benson Show. Late last week, I think it was Thursday night, they had a state dinner for President Macron of France at the White House. And I know there was some controversy because they were serving Maine lobster. And I guess there are policies that the administration is pursuing that are actually very detrimental to that industry in Maine. So people are criticizing them for that. Policies affecting lobster, and whether that's hypocritical. The only image that actually bothered me coming out of the White House at the state dinner had nothing to do with the principles or the policies. It was one of the invited guests. A guest welcomed with bells on at the White House for this fancy special event, Randy Weingarten, teachers union boss, destroyer of education in so many ways, harmer of children, unapologetic, and the White House is just like double middle fingers to parents. She's at this event, you're not. Vote of confidence for Randy Weingarten. That's what they believe. We should never forget that.
Our audiences are so wonderful at this point.
Why don't you explore TuneIn today? Podcasts, sports, news, music, and more. When it comes to the day's news, you can't miss a single headline. That's why at TuneIn, we bring all your trusted sources in one app. That means no matter where you get your news, it's always at your fingertips on the TuneIn platform. So while you're going about your day, you'll get all the headlines.
Call an extreme fire danger that covers
all the expert analysis.
It's time for us to start focusing on what we
and all the opinions you trust.
million jobs open across the country.
In this house of both Tennesseans, the nation, and indeed around the world, the sadness reflects the talent of one of the greatest talents that this country's ever produced, or maybe this world has ever produced.
News as it happened then, news as it happens now.
This is Fox News Talk. Fox on Faith with Lauren Green.
The Christmas season is upon us, but what makes Christmas so important if Easter is actually the cornerstone?
If we didn't have Christmas, we wouldn't have the cross. And what an amazing moment that God would lay aside his glory and be born as a member of his own creation.
In Renner's book, Christmas, the rest of the story, he delves into why every morsel of the Nativity story is the entire biblical narrative. Like the shepherds in the field are no ordinary herdsmen. They were assigned to look after the sacrificial lambs for the temple sacrifice. Blemish-free.
The angel said, when you get to Bethlehem and find this babe, you'll know him because he'll look like a little lamb wrapped in swaddling clothes, laying in a manger. The first time Jesus ever appears in Scripture, he appears as the Lamb of God with the sin of the world.
Hear more, go to White House Faith Podcast at foxnews.com. For Fox on Faith, Lauren Green, Fox News.
The very latest, along with in-depth analysis and conversation, depend on Fox News Radio and foxnewspodcasts.com.
Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Dow down 472 points at the closing bell as oil prices also tumble amid uncertainty about the impacts of a new Western price cap on Russian oil aimed at limiting Russian sales and hurting its main source of revenue, war in Ukraine.
Limit Mr. Putin's ability to profiteer off the war.
Security Council spokesman John Kirby says the U.S. does not believe the cap will have long-term impacts on the global market. Wall Street economic report showing more growth than expected for the U.S. services sector in November, highlighting the central bank's difficult inflation. The U.S. Supreme Court hearing the fight over a web designer who has LGBTQ customers but is refusing to make a website for a same-sex wedding on religious grounds. Lori Smith telling Fox News a win for her is a win for everybody.
And at the core of this case is the right for all to speak freely. That protects not only myself, protects the LGBT web designer who should not be forced to create custom artwork that opposes same-sex marriage.
But Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser says an entire group of people can't be excluded.
And if there were to be a loophole, people with disabilities, African Americans, Jews, Muslims, others could find themselves without access to the marketplace.
Smith is accused of violating the state's anti-discrimination law. A busy final day on the campaign trail ahead of a Senate runoff tomorrow in Georgia. Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock holding a rally at Georgia Tech, joined by fellow Senator John Ossoff. Making 5 stops on a bus tour, including one tonight with former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Walker, by phone. America is listening to Fox News.
Tune in to listen.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the whoops. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzz warning signs? Call
Insurance with Geico. It's easy and they can save even more. In the end, Jane and Bob found an
Now, there's a freight elevator she doesn't know about.
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
bundling without compromise at geico.com.
Hey, everybody. It's time for today's STEM tip. Want to know how to make your selfies even better? Okay, let's use science. The best time for photos is golden before the sun sets, when the atmosphere scatters blue and violet wavelengths, making perfect, soft, golden selfie light to show the beautiful face of yours. Click. Check out Chic and STEM for more inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online.
Say the shooting that damaged 2 substations, knocking out power to thousands in Moore County, was not a random attack.
We have been in touch with local officials, and we're going to provide any assistance.
Federal law enforcement is part of that investigation. The former Lieutenant Governor of New York, Brian Benjamin, faces federal judge's decision.
Benjamin had fraud and bribery charges dismissed after Judge J. Paul decision said prosecutors did not cite specifics on when he gave a favor in exchange for a bribe. The decision only leaves falsification charges for Benjamin to face. He was Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul's choice to serve as lieutenant governor when she replaced Andrew Cuomo. Benjamin's arrest left her to find a new running mate for a fast-approaching election. Attorneys for Benjamin say he is thankful for his vindication and plans to again serve the state in some way. Colonel Scott, Fox News.
Creative criminals pulling checks out of the mail. What's known as mailbox phishing.
That's when they apparently slip a belt or something coated with a sticky material through the neck in an attempt to pull out envelopes with checks. Isabel Vincent told us 2 checks she once mailed were fished out of a box, altered, and cashed for more than $1,500.
Don't pop a check in the box. Go.
New York police arrested a ring of suspects who stole more than $100,000 worth of checks from mailboxes. The Postal Service says if you do mail a check, try to put it in the box near the pickup time, so an envelope does not stay in the box overnight.
Fox's Eric Shawn recapping Wall Street, the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, all down more than 1%, but that's off session lows. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Any of the news you need. We get it. You're busy. That's why we pull all the news sources you trust together to bring you news every day on all your devices. Trusted coverage. There was multiple tornadoes. Headlines. So I was confused. People were expert op-eds and news podcasts. When it comes to the news stories you need from the sources you trust, hear it here on TuneIn.
TuneIn is the destination for live news, sports, and more. But did you know that many of your favorite live shows are available as podcasts? So if you missed the big game there's a podcast for that.
If you couldn't listen to the breaking news update earlier this morning,
they don't know what it's like to be on those things. I know what it's like, and I feel like
there's a podcast for that. Or if you just favorite talk radio shows on your schedule.
And the plan to try to contain it. I spoke with my colleague.
There's a podcast for that. And don't forget, you can subscribe to your favorite
city in the world. Unconventional talk from a fresh, unconventional Guy Benson Show.